Safety training. Head protection. (1910.135a) 1. The employer shall ensure that each affected employee wears a protective helmet when working in areas where there is a potential for injury to the head from falling objects. 1910.135a. 2. The employer shall ensure that a protective helmet designed to reduce electrical shock hazard is worn by each such affected employee when near exposed electrical conductors which could contact the head. Head injuries. Few injuries are more fatal or more damaging than head injuries. Concussions, brain injuries, permanent or temporary brain damage are just a few of the possible outcomes of a blow to the head. Additionally, workers who are exposed to potential electric shock need to protect against it as well. Common workplace head injuries. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, over 3 million workers suffered non-fatal head injuries while on the job in 2014. Slip and fall accidents are consistently among the most common causes of serious work-related head injuries. They are often caused by liquid spills, cracked pavement, torn carpet, inadequate lighting, and snow and ice. Motor vehicle accidents. Many employment positions require employees to drive motor vehicles as part of their daily duties. Truckers, delivery drivers and construction workers are especially vulnerable to accidents that can result in serious head injuries. Defective work equipment. In many cases, work-related head injuries are caused by defective work tools and equipment used in the workplace. Explosions. Certain industries such as industrial manufacturing and construction often use materials that have the potential to explode under certain conditions. Flying debris and falls due to the impact of the blast often cause head injuries. Possible head injuries. Falling or flying objects are a common cause of head injuries. Also, falling onto or walking into hard objects can cause serious head injuries. These injuries can include scalp lacerations, neck sprains, concussions, skull fractures, brain damage or even death. Accident at a construction site.
A freak accident at a construction site today involved a very common construction tool, something you probably have in your own kitchen. CBS 2's Steve Langford reports on a simple delivery that turned tragic.
The truck carrying a load of sheetrock still at the construction site in Jersey City, hours after the truck's operator died right beside his rig, listed as belonging to Living Right Trucking, Inc., the words "owned by God" added to the side of the truck. 58-year-old Gary Anderson of Summerdale, New Jersey, killed as he was delivering the sheetrock when a tape measure fell off a construction worker's belt 50 stories above, bounced off a piece of equipment near the ground, then struck the truck driver in the head. Police say Anderson was not wearing a safety helmet.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. You don't know what's going to happen ever. Well, just come in one day and it could be your last.
Juan Bonilla works construction at a site nearby and says a safety helmet would have made all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he would have been hurt maybe in the hospital, but it would have probably saved a life.
One worker here who didn't want to go on camera told me the victim, apparently a very religious man, was in the middle of telling a story and uttered the words, "God is good," the moment right before he was hit and killed.
OSHA is investigating the accident, which happened just a few feet from the entrance to a PATH station.
It's very scary. I had no idea that something so small could do so much damage.
Neither the trucking firm nor the construction company would comment on the bizarre tragedy. In Jersey City, Steve Langford, CBS 2 News.
The victim, Gary Anderson, was rushed to Jersey City Medical Center, but died an hour later.
Your head. The human skull does a pretty good job of protecting the brain, eyes, ears and nose, but it has its limits. The force of a golf ball hitting your head at moderate speed or simply walking into a hard object can fracture your skull. A stronger force can cause more severe injuries. Since head injuries can be very serious, head protection is required on certain kinds of jobs. What is a hard hat? A hard hat is basically made up of a hard outer shell, usually made from polyethylene plastic that deflects blows and protects the head from injury. An inner suspension usually made up of webbing that keeps the outer protective shell at least 1 1¼ away from the head and acts as a shock or absorber. The suspension also allows for ventilation. Additionally, the suspension includes a headband. Sweatbands can be added to the headband for additional comfort. Hard hat ratings. The standard breaks the hazards into 2 main categories, but the categories also contain subcategories that will help you decide which hard hat you will need. 1. Falling objects. Type I is designed to protect only against object falling from straight overhead, hitting the hard hat on the top. Type II is designed to protect against blows to the top of the head as well as side impact. Two. Electrical hazards. Class A, Old Standard, or Class G, New Standard, is a hard hat that provides electrical protection up to 2,200 volts. Class B, Old Standard, or Class E, New Standard, is a hard hat with electrical protection up to 20,000 volts. Class C, Old Standard, or Class C, New Standard, is a hard that has not been rated for electrical conductivity. Bump caps. What is a bump cap? Bump caps are safety equipment that protect the wearer from minor head bumps and lacerations, but not from falling or flying objects. When to use? Bump caps are used when there's a risk of head impact with stationary objects, such as low ceilings, piping, or the underside of a vehicle. They're a good choice for workers who might not always be upright. Jobs where hard hats are required. Electricians, mechanics, pipe fitters, assemblers, packers, wrappers. Welders, freight handlers, cutting and logging, construction worker, stock handlers, warehouse personnel. Care of the hard hats. Clean your hard hat as needed to remove oil, grease, chemicals, and sweat that can collect in and around your hat. You can clean your hat with mild soap and hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. Rinse with clear water, wipe, and let air dry. Because prolonged exposure to sunlight and heat can damage your hat, store it in a clean, dry, and cool location out of direct sunlight. Don't use paints, solvents, gasoline, chemicals, or harsh cleaning materials on the shell. Don't transport headwear in rear windows of vehicles since sunlight and extreme heat will weaken it. Don't put anything in the space between the suspension and the shell. Inspect suspension before every use. Look for cracked, torn or frayed straps. Replace suspension when damage or defects are detected. Suspensions will deteriorate over time from exposure to sunlight and chemicals, perspiration and hair oils. The normal service life of the suspension is about 1 year of regular use. The suspension may last longer with intermittent use. Don't mix different manufacturer suspension types and hard hats. Replacement suspension harnesses must be from the same manufacturer and for the same model of hard hat. Don't wear a hard hat backwards unless you rotate the suspension. Should employees be allowed to put stickers on their hard hats? While personalization of the hard hat is usually the objective, it is recommended against stickers on the hard hat for the following reasons. 1. Stickers can potentially cover up cracks or other damages. 2. There is no way to know or control the nature of the chemicals that are used in the adhesive. While most adhesives are not harmful to the polyethylene plastic that makes up the hard hat, there is no way to know if the adhesive on the sticker you are about to apply is not going to deteriorate it. 3. Stickers can potentially increase the conductivity of the hard hat, especially if they are too close to the rim of the hat. One last piece of advice. As an employer, your responsibility does not end simply because you have provided head protection for your employees. A proper head protection policy should identify when and where the employee is required to wear head protection, what type of head protection the employee is required to wear, as well as making sure that the employees understand why they need head protection and understand how the head protection you provide is going to protect them adequately.